Still echoing, bro?
Yeah,
For real?
yeah.
Bro, what the fuck is the echo cancellation
So
for? Yo,
let
yo,
me put
yo.
both of them on because you act one bad in this ear. For real.
How? I don't understand. That don't even make sense. I don't got no motherfucking other shit. I can't even hear myself, nigga.
Yeah, you echoing, bro.
I don't know why, bro. Shit weird. Probably
It
just
sounds like you talking from way back, and then it's like,
I don't know, yo. Shit blowing me a little bit now. I'm about to say fuck them because how was I'm echoing? I can't even hear myself. That don't make sense.
go back to when you can hear yourself. See if I can hear you.
No, because that shit was fucking with my ears. Still echoing. Still echoing.
Ain't it? Yeah, they're just not as clear as it was.
It's not as clear, or
It's it's it, it's still echoing.
I ain't with that echoing shit. This one worked the best though for streaming the video.
All right, try it again. Let me see.
The video not echoing, right?
Rappers. We may take the darkies off. A lot of these rappers have done a tremendous job, and I take nothing away from them. But they forget I got a hell of a catalog. Me, Jim Jones, myself, gold
Nah,
records,
I
platinum records,
mean,
gold
yeah,
albums, platinum albums. No, me, Jim Jones. No diplomats, no nobody else. Me, Jim Jones. Check my track record, then check everybody else's track record. Then go to the billboards and check all my entries and check all them niggas' entries and shit like that. And I'm not taking nothing away from nobody, but I hear the comparisons and the niggas trying to act funny when it comes. No, I've been spanking a lot of this shit. I'm about the industry. I've been putting on. So let's not get into that where we get into numbers and I got to show you the statistics of what I've done. You heard to what other people was done. You heard them. You want to go to the billboard entries, pull up Nas billboard entries and pull up my billboard entries.
Things like influence and who's better, that's purely subjective. Purely.
right.
Somebody can hear Jim Jones rap and think Jim Jones is a better rapper than Nas, and vice versa. But what's not subjective are the numbers, the accolades, and the facts. And those are the things that Jim Jones lied about. Jim Jones will say that he has more Billboard entries than Nas, more platinum records, more hits. Well, that's just not even by the metrics that Jim Jones brought up, he loses every time. Jim Jones wanted the solo artist stats, so we're just looking at the solo artist stats. Nas has about 5 or 6 platinum albums. Jim Jones don't have a platinum album. Nas has, I believe, 1 or maybe 2 platinum singles. Jim Jones has 1 or 2, depending on how you look at it. The We Fly
Right.
High and then the We Fly High remix, I believe, are both platinum. But nonetheless, though, just by the single artist stats, Nas is outperforming Jim Jones. Now, if we look at Billboard entries, Nas is also outperforming Jim Jones. Nas has 15 plus Billboard Hot 100 entries. Jim Jones have 2 Billboard Hot 100 entries. So yeah, Nas win this as well. So I don't know why he was asking us to pull up Nas Billboard stats and his Billboard stats as if he was gonna outperform Nas, which is just not true whatsoever. Jim
Yeah, see, this is a conflating argument because the first
This was
time
never.
is this. They wasn't arguing about this. So I feel Shannon Sharp. I didn't ever see this. I didn't know this where it came from for real. But Jim brought up numbers and shit with kissing them. And kissing
Right.
them niggas ain't really want to give them no kickback because he guess this is like whatever, nigga. Bless your heart, nigga. That's how a nigga look at it when you talk about Nas. You feel what I'm saying? So you can even see it on Fat Joe's face. He turned around like, but he ain't said because you don't want to disrespect your guests, bro. Let him cook. The internet gonna do all that for you. You feel what I'm saying? But if that was where he came from on that show, I could kind of see where Shannon Sharp was coming from. But Jim prefaced the shit off the rip. I guess he done had enough time to watch this and see that he put his
Right.
foot in his mouth. And other people probably didn't reacted to it and been like, nigga, you don't got no numbers with Nas. So the first thing he said on Shannon shit was, don't even let's not even talk about the numbers. I ain't trying to get into that rhetoric. right, because you don't win that battle. Now, back to what Flacco said, it's subjective influence. You feel me? And it always go to the era, the time. I think Jim would have more influence only because he had more access to social media.
Right.
Now, I think overall hip hop, Nas had more influence. Culture, I would give it to Jim. Niggas wasn't dressing like Nas. Niggas wasn't running around repeating shit that Nas say. Niggas wasn't running around acting like they was part of Nas clique. Niggas was really in the
Right.
city, Purple City Bird gang. We had Dipset niggas down here, Dipset niggas up here. So that shit was a cultural movement. And that's what
Right.
he talked about as far as influence. I'll give him that. But Nas hip hop influence might overtake Jimmy cultural influence because niggas put him on the top, put him up there with the goats for real. You feel me?
Right.
As far as talent, as far as the numbers he put up in the music. So now it's kind of looking like Jimmy put his foot in his mouth because he already had said that wild shit. You can't say that. That's what we
And
prefacing,
then
and
backtrack.
then you try to take the numbers out of
Yeah.
the play when the whole time Shannon Sharp was responding to that specific what he said it to them
Statement.
niggas.
Yeah.
So I guess Jimmy was kind of geeking, but I still don't disagree that influence. And if that's what he meant the whole time, because that's kind of the
Yeah, you got
points that
that.
he was, that's the kind of points he was hitting at when he was talking to kissing them, but he didn't drive it home the right way.
Jones is the first man over 6 feet tall that has little man syndrome. He has confidence, like super confidence, that can sometimes appear to be delusion. Jim Jones feels like hip hop is leaving him behind, that when people tell the history of his era, he's often not included and that his influences are disregarded. Which, for the most part, he's kind of right, right? Like
Right.
right now, when
See?
we wear
Yeah,
Chrome Hearts, we
Flacco.
don't think about Jim Jones.
Right.
When we wear the belts, we don't think about Jim Jones.
Right.
When we think about,
Shout
like
out to
most
Flacco,
fashion
yo.
trends,
Shout out to my nigga Flacco, because even though the captions say Jim Jones got fucking destroyed, bro, keeping it a bean. He keeping it a bean. Jim Jones' whole beef is, bro, I kind of made that wave, yo. All that chrome hard shit that niggas wearing,
Right.
the Visual jeans and red. Like he was wearing the red bottoms. I mean, the red Robins and shit long before Fetty Wap and them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
True Religion, all that shit was them niggas. Them niggas made skinny jeans and shit cool, bro. If you
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
be 1,000% honest. So all that, how niggas dress into now, like modern day shit, gotta get at to them niggas, bro. They was trend setting.
For sure.
They was really maneuvering and shaping the culture throughout throughout their run, bro. I can't lie, bro. Them niggas made it cool to wear pink, bro. Niggas wasn't wearing pink, bro. You was a bitch ass
So,
nigga. You
no.
wore pink. You feel me? Look, I got pink
Yes,
shit
sir.
on right now. I don't feel no type of way. And that's what I'm saying. So you gotta give my man his motherfucking flowers on that note. But musically, ain't even close. Why I'm getting all this feedback? Yo, what I do? Getting mega
That's all
feedback.
I.
Oh, it just went
That's
away.
all I hear.
It just went away.
That's
stats
what.
that's been like resurfacing within the last, I don't know, 5 years or so, that comes from Jim Jones. But that's the fashion, not the music, right? And you
Not
can
the
definitely
music, right?
demand your credit in the fashion
Right,
without overreaching or trying to compare yourself to somebody like Nas, who
right.
most people will put in their top 10 rappers of all time category. Shannon Sharp tries to tell Jim Jones exactly what I just said, tries to let him know he's somewhat delusional. Jim Jones wasn't going for it, and it ended up very heated.
Yeah.
Life right now, you know
Shit
what I
got
mean?
contentious.
The more I bless people, the more I get blessed, and it's just a testament of hard work and being resilient and being real with yourself.
This right here is Shannon Sharp trying to get his moment, bro. Look, he's not even listening to Jim. Chad, Chad is like 100% invested in what Jim talking about because that's Chad guests. And usually Chad don't bring guests. You feel me? Usually the Shannon Sharp get all the guests. So this the first time Chad. I ain't gonna say first time, but this one of the rare times. I don't know. It could be the first time, but I'm gonna say rare times just to give my man Chad the benefit of the doubt. This one of the rare times where he bringing a guest. You feel me? He ain't been on a show in a couple. He been on vacation, whatever the fuck he was doing. This supposed to be his big night. Look at Shannon Sharp. Peep right here. While Jim talking, Shannon Sharp reading, because he probably ain't even watched the interview, but you know he got a team that asks him the questions and shit. So look at his face while he reading this. Like he one of the niggas that you can kind of read what he got going on from how he look. Watch his face while he reading his next question, because he's not paying nothing Jim talking about right now, no mind. He trying to get to this explosive question so he can have Jordan and motherfucking Amber, whoever the fuck he got in the back scene, get these clips ready. You heard me. Watch Shannon Sharp right here while Jim talking.
Jones wasn't going for it, and it ended up very heated.
Life right now, you know what I mean?
Put his
The more
glasses
blessed
on.
people, the more
Look
I
at his
get
eyes.
blessed.
He looking at the
And
paper.
it's just a
Now
testament
look,
of hard work and
reading the
being
paper,
resilient
reading with his
being
lips,
real with yourself.
reading with his lips,
I
reading
mean,
with his lips. Cut him off.
Can I ask
Boom.
you a
What I
question,
tell
Jim?
you?
mhm.
You smoke, right?
How
Yeah.
the fuck do you go from read? How this man talking about humble? How he blessed? He get these blessings. He get that. He get this. You steady reading the question, waiting to bait him. It's like a gotcha question. You feel me? Like how they say the niggas ask gotcha questions for the to politicians. Shannon Sharp was cooking that, bro. You don't see it? This nigga done got a phone call. Fuck the whole stream up. He got a fucking computer, bro. That's why I don't use my phone, because I ain't with all that shit. You heard me. But let me let him finish cooking though, yo. Shannon Sharp came on bullshit though. He was for the bullshit, bro. You can see it from the face, from reading. He reading the question, bro. He basically trying to find a way to trigger this man so he can turn his shit up. That's all this is, bro. I'm all over it. And Jim Jones, as much as Jim Jones will crash out, I'll give my man some credit. He kept it calm and cool.
I mean,
Can I ask you a question, Jim?
Mhm.
You smoke, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Were you smoking when you said you better than Nas?
I might have been a little bit. Well,
Might have
as
been.
far as let's get this right.
Let's get
I'm
this
way
right.
more influential than Nas, and I don't care what nobody say. I know I made it. I know I made a little boo boo when you talk about the sales and all this type of shit. I feel like getting into that rhetoric about where
And he took accountability. So I ain't peeped that. He took accountability. He said, I made a little boo-boo when I said all the wild shit about the sale. Like I said before, it seems to me Jim heard whatever people were saying. You feel me? Got a little reaction from people from the Fat Joe Jadakiss interview. I didn't see that until today. I didn't even know what made him pose this question at first. So that's why I thought overall Shannon Sharp was picking. But if I'm gonna be honest, I still think he was picking because you don't ask a nigga, you don't load the question like that. That was crazy work, my nigga. You don't smoke that weed. You don't do none of that. You do a bunch of faking on fucking undisputed. So you come at a nigga like, yo, you smoke, don't you? Yeah, hell yeah. Jimmy thinking it ain't nothing. And so was you smoking that shit when you said you better than Nas? And like my man straight took accountability, like, yo, I made a boo-boo with the numbers, but influence, I'm gonna have to say way more influential. Way more influential. And I agree with him. I agree with him. Let him cook though. This way it get
I
ugly.
started with.
Jimmy
You
was
said that.
Jimmy wasn't good at proving his point. Because if he gonna talk about influence, I'm gonna say Flacco broke it down to fashion. I would say it's more influence because he influenced the fashion. Like people still dress like him to this day, bro. It ain't like some shit that just started.
Listen,
You don't get to make an argument solely around one thing, and then once that thing get disproven, you want to pivot the argument to another thing. The argument that you was talking about wasn't about influence. You was talking about, catalog for catalog, not
He was, yo. You right. He was, and that's what I was saying. You can't just say Billboard this, number one single this. You can't say all that and then just walk it back. But he did say he made a boo boo. That wasn't a boo boo, my nigga. That was that was cat, nigga. What you talk about?
Nas' catalog ain't messing with Miles. Look at the Billboard charts and come back to me. We looked at the Billboard charts and came back to Jim Jones, and now Jim Jones is trying to change the conversation.
But listen, Nas was nice when I was in high school. When I was in 10th grade, Nas came out. Nas was dope. We appreciated him. He had a little bit of run. But Nas always came up second to Jay and DMX and all these other people. Like,
Ain't no shame in that. There a lot of folks came up second to Tom Brady.
He never had that type of influence on us, except for his first album. I already told you, I used to want to dress like Nas because he had a lot of fresh clothes that the hustlers used to wear and shit. I used to see him on TV. He had one of the illest albums of all time. And then in high school when he had the barbecue and shit like that. So I'm a real fan of Nas, but he kind of lost me after the movie Belly and shit like that. Like, I don't know.
Go ahead on with that, Jim.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm being honest. You ask me, I'm being a fan. I'm telling you, the movie Belly was fire, but after that, he kind of lost me. I think we was way too much into the game. Remember how this goes. You ever heard of a Kofi list?
Yeah.
Yo, go back into your history and find out what happened between us and him. You dig? And I'm not trying to repeat history, but don't play with us when it comes to that, bro. We already went wild on them boys. You heard? We the ones that went wild on them boys. You heard?
Hey, Jim.
Yo, and people out here acting wild. And like I said, I'm gonna bring the Kofi list back. I just told you I'm a changed man. Steph Law, you dig?
Nah, look, I'm putting it like this, Jim. Hey, bro, you've been in this thing, but lyrically, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you.
Jim Jones' emotions and confidence is so fragile that he begins to go personal. Shannon Sharpe was only talking about music, talking about rap skills. Jim Jones then began to take a dig at Shannon Sharpe's wardrobe and how he.
This way I ain't feeling them Flacco off the rip because he came up at the nigga talking about, hey, yo, you smoke, yo? Was you high when you said that shit? Like, I hate for a nigga to try to make it like a nigga high. Like, how high do you think weed gonna get you, my nigga? Like, I ain't smoking crack, nigga. Now, if you say I'm smoking crack, and then I say something delusional, all right, cool. What would you smoking crack when you said that? Because that makes sense, nigga. You ain't a regular high person. Weed is legal, bro. People smoke weed, bro. Weed is medication, bro. People smoke weed. So for you to say, hey, yo, what you smoke? Weed, yo? Fuck, you was high when you said that? That's the same thing. I don't think that's not taking a dig, Flacco. So I think you gave Shannon Sharpe a pass on that one, yo. I'm gonna put that in the comments.
He dressed, and he's sort of dog whistling, the sexuality questions regarding Shannon Sharpe as well.
Shit.
So Shannon Sharpe sees this, he takes notice of it, and Shannon Sharpe begins to dig back as well. But Jim Jones didn't know it at the time, but he was sort of digging himself into a hole that he wasn't going to get out of. Because essentially what he did right here was gave Shannon Sharpe any and all justification that when Shannon Sharpe really wanted to bleed him, he could bleed him, right? Shannon Sharpe could really roast him and make him feel really small, which takes place later in his podcast.
Yeah, but look how you dress. Look how you dress. You don't even be in the same places I be in. And the things that we listen to.
I can be in the church house. You can't F Nas lyrics. I don't know who told you that. Now look, y'all know you on that good stuff.
No, you on that good stuff. See?
Bro, you're not seeing Nas, bro. Let's be real.
You got a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds in their panties because I said I'm better than Nas.
It don't matter.
Look at you. Look at you.
Nobody from Dipset gonna take you over Nas. Nobody from the Diplomats but you.
I got hold on, Jim. Hold on.
Hold on. Jim.
You want to go back to I really mean it? I really mean it. Started. We could go back to the history, bro.
But you didn't even say that,
bro. Don't do that, bro. That's
hold on.
I
got a question.
Stick up for itself and meet me in a booth for something if we want to do something historical.
Nas say he don't do that no more. Nas say he don't do that
because he got $100 million. He's a very wealthy man. You heard he's a very smart businessman.
Hold on. Jimmy, hold on. I got a question.
Jim Jones gets so upset that Shannon Sharpe don't agree with him and he's arguing him down. That Jim Jones then said quite possibly the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard anyone say. Jim Jones then said that Shannon Sharpe, by the way, the owner of Club Shay, who got an interview on his platform that has surpassed over 80 million views, that Shannon Sharpe, who has multiple YouTube channels with over 1 million subscribers, that Shannon Sharpe apparently is clickbaiting and brought Jim Jones on to get him views and to turn up his podcast. Jim Jones really believes that he's providing Shannon Sharpe with a stimulus package and that Shannon Sharpe needs him for views.
He is. He ain't wrong. Now, maybe not the way that Jim meant it. Jim meant it like he trying to make it sound like yo just got me on here because I'm that nigga. And yeah, he knew what he was doing. Shannon ain't the number one nigga for no reason. So Flacco, this way you kind of contradicting yourself, my guy. I fuck with you. But listen, think about it like this, bro. Shannon Sharp ain't the number one podcast nigga that get niggas to say explosive shit for no reason, my guy. He's saying, Jim, I'm not sure. I can't read a nigga mind to say that Jim is understanding the moment. Maybe because he did turn himself down when he was like, matter of fact, bro, y'all niggas podcast is great. I think that was him snapping back to reality, like, all right, I'm getting above myself. But what I'm saying is he definitely know how to make a moment, a viral moment. And that's what this turned into. Look, you talking about it. Joe Button talking about it. I'm talking about it. DJ Rec talking about it. Everybody talking about it. Shannon Sharp been under a lot of scrutiny lately, bro. Think about it. We ain't been seeing him go viral like he was before. Before all this allegation shit, Shannon Sharp was going viral damn near every week, nigga. They clipped some shit that he had somebody say on there. Nightcat, one of his motherfucking sayings from his grandma, grandpa. Like, yeah, so he ain't all the way wrong on this one for real. Yeah, he was kind of out of line for the way he posed it, but Shannon definitely trying to get back in the algorithm, nigga. All that million subscribers, million 2 channel shit. That shit start to fall when your motherfucking name get to be put in and inserted in shit that ain't, you get what I'm saying, that's frowned upon. And I can bet you, even though we see that he still got a million subscribers here, a million subscribers there, them checks ain't hitting like they was hitting 4 or 5 months ago. Not to mention, you gotta also take away the ESPN check. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, when shit going good, you want to put your shit in cruise control. You get what I'm saying? You want to keep it in cruise control. So they had it in cruise control with the viral moments. Every week he was getting something decent that'll clip out that he could go crazy with. Ain't been like that for the last couple nightcasts. Chad took a little hiatus. They needed this episode to go viral. I saw from the promotion of it that this was supposed to be a big episode. They had Chad with the hat on, with the newspaper on the promo poster earlier that day saying he's back, like with Jim Jones with him, and somebody else was supposed to be there. I didn't even watch it, but Shannon Sharp know how to bait a nigga and get him to make a viral moment. And look, this is what I'm saying. Not saying that he need nothing. I ain't saying he hurting for cash. I ain't saying none of that. I'm just saying he ain't had one of these in a while. Just like what Shannon, Cam and them said. Remember when he was like, that's another thing that I gotta add to this. I gotta add that to the equation that people I think is missing. Y'all missing the disdain that Onk had with Cam and Mace also. And that shit phony to me. You feel me? Onk got his deal with I think DraftKings, the Cohort, Colin Coward or something. Cam and them were underdog. And then he said the shit about the no homo shit. Like, y'all niggas keep saying no homo, all that. When niggas had him on clip saying no homo. He no homo Chad one time. So it's just a lot of disdain with Onk and the diplomat format. The diplomat niggas anyway, on the strength of niggas don't care. Like Cam and them niggas told him, they said what they said about him with the chick, with the other shit. So he don't like niggas to speak on his shit. You feel me? Niggas calling him gay. So there's a whole lot of shit like that Onk really ain't. He ain't gonna have his best takes with because he already feels some type of way about these things. You feel me? But yeah, Flacco, I disagree with you on that, but I'm gonna let you cook.
That's when Shannon Sharp had to put him in his place, man.
I can sing more Nas records than you right now. So you are capping. You are capping. That's what you're doing.
First of all, bro,
you are capping. I'm a
50,
bigger Nas fan than you are. You are capping.
First of all,
I'm 57. I don't be singing no rap. I don't be singing no rap. You see what I'm saying, Ocho? He don't even know about rap. He just doing this for the views to get Jim Jones on there to get him hot. I understand, but you.
That's where Jim Jones fucked up right there. By saying to get Jim Jones on there, I don't even know if that. Like I said, I still don't even know if that's what he meant. If he meant like, yeah, I'm the prize. You get me on your show, and I'm your shit lit. No, it ain't that. You can get anybody on the show. It's the moment. He can. That's clip farming. That's what they call clip farming. It's you presenting the moment. He knew this question was going to be explosive. You're not going to tell me Shannon Sharp ain't know this was going to be an explosive question, bro, to trigger this man, bro. And he ain't never triggered nobody else. When he on motherfucking Shay, he be apologizing and shit to every fucking female that he said had a fat ass before. They don't even be caring. He might have said she looked good. Well, she stacked back there or something. I like to say the first thing I like to say was, I apologize because I don't want to have anybody disrespect. Listen, I don't want y'all to get me fucked up and think I don't fuck with Shay. That's my guy. I like Shay, but I try to call it out the middle. And with Jim Jones, niggas already know his character, know what type of nigga he is. So you clip farm that, bro. That was a easy money clip farm because right now the nigga going viral today, just like he said. I ain't heard Shannon Sharp in the news in the last couple weeks like this.
You don't
Get
know
him hot.
You don't know
get
Nas.
him hot.
Check the podcast space. Now you better talk.
Sing 16.
Hey, this the biggest podcast you ever been on.
One Nas record.
This the biggest podcast you ever been on.
You know,
podcast you been on better than this one.
Hold on. We off topic. Hold on.
Chad trying.
Hold on.
This is my point where I was saying, Chad, like, God damn, why are you trying to wild my guests like that? Like, damn, my nigga, let him cook. Let that nigga cook, bro. He's a guest, bro. You screaming, you cutting him off, you getting mad. We know this, bro. We know all the shit you saying. You don't have to say this to him. You could just let the internet do. That's the thing about when you was a journalist or reporter or whatever. You just want to get the fucking clips. Get the clips, my nigga. But by you keep on egging it, and saying the shit you saying, it don't look genuine. You get what I'm saying? It don't look genuine at all because it's like you trying. And I feel like back to the emotionally invested part of it, it's real anger. Let them cook though.
You see you in your feelings.
When you get big, you get invited to Club Shay.
This is what I do.
Nas get invited.
That was crazy work right there. That was crazy work. He might have just fucked his whole podcast up with Ocho because, for one, if I was Ocho, I would feel a certain type of way. And every guest that get invited to Nightcap moving forward. Fuck you mean? If I'm big, I get to come to Shay. Lord niggas come to Nightcap. Then basically what you're saying, I ain't big enough for Shay. Nas get to come to Shay. That was some dick riding ass shit there. And that's where Jim coming from. That's the perspective he coming from, bro. Like, God damn, my nigga, you gonna crash out about this nigga? Jada and them ain't do all that, bro. They let Jimmy talk himself in a hole, and then he had to deal with the internet. Everybody gonna react, bro. People react. I'm reacting right now. Shannon Sharp, I don't think you should have did all that, bro. It's not that deep. You could have let him cook, let him sound like a damn fool, and just say, I disagree. That's all you gotta say. But let's move on. Right or wrong? I disagree, but all right, let's move on. Next question. It's your guess, bro. You ain't supposed to be doing that unless this is planned. And Jimmy he not wrong by saying that a nigga trying to run it up because this ready to go crazy. It's been going crazy since last night. Yes, viral. Big viral. So yeah, you got the #1 podcast from the numbers, all that shit. But ain't nobody been watching your shit like they used to watch your shit, nigga. All right, since they said you like fucking with them whites, them young whites. That's all I'm saying.
Invited to Club Shay. Jada can get invited to Club Shay. You went out on that level yet, bro.
See,
Slow
we
it
all-
down.
It's for little young
Hello?
white girls. Chill out.
We
Chill
off
out. Don't play
topic.
with me, bro.
See, Chad keep trying to bring it back because now Jimmy getting mad because how the fuck is I'm your guest and you telling me I ain't big enough? I need to get bigger. I ain't on that level yet. Who the fuck, nigga? Bro, you just went hot last year because of fucking Cat Williams, bro. This where niggas be getting above themselves, bro. You were just on there with a nigga, with the white boy telling you take your glasses off. That's where my man Jimmy coming from right now. And I feel him. Like, bro, you done got the wall of fame, bro. Now you're above yourself, bro. They could break you down the same way they built you up. How don't you have some more humility, Shannon Sharp? You just was working for the fucking sports worldwide leader of sports, nigga, and you don't work there no more. Fuck you talking about? You ain't get laid up. You got fired, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Like, that's where a nigga coming from right now. And I feel him, bro. How dare you, my nigga? We out here rooting for you. We out here trying to make sure you don't get fucking crucified. They don't kill your career. And you said telling me I ain't big enough to be on your show while I'm on your show. Do anybody understand where I'm coming from, yo? I'm going to keep it there, yo. I ain't even mean for this to go that long, yo. Let me know in the comments, bro. Do y'all think Shannon Sharp was out of pocket or do y'all think this was totally warranted? Like I said, I think the internet was going to do what the internet do anyway. But you ain't supposed to treat your guests like that.
Chill out.
Off topic.
You're dealing with the wrong one, bro.
Right here, bro.
I
You heard
don't
me?
care nothing about nothing else that you got to say, bro. You might as well